welcome to episode 87, part 1 of Africa's premier sports video podcast, the Three Quarters podcast. As usual, we'd like to remind you to jump onto the hashtag Road to Japan to support the Kenya Simbas as they are still looking to qualify for the Rugby World Cup in 2019 in Japan. I'm Tamima Duffield.
And I'm Nora Kamuya.
So today we're going to talk about KRU and the recent happenings, around replacing coaches, and especially the Kenya Sevens coach, because now that position is open.
Yes.
Actually, the whole tech bench is off.
Yes.
And actually, I think they're giving it till like the 6th of September for applications to come in. Now, to be honest, for me, I don't know. We need to see a time where a coach will be there for a while so he can actually grow, develop a team. There's the correct bonding and all of that. Because for me, I don't think it's enough to see someone there for 2 years and they've either built a team or they've finally gotten to the point where there's the right amount of cohesion, and then just when things start going well, you're handed a letter and thank you very much, we're gonna go look for someone else.
I do agree with you. The reason being, okay, let me take it back a bit. So KRU have said that the positions now, the whole tech bench of the Sevens team is open, and people have been invited to make their applications. Essentially, if your employer is doing that, that means that your position is vacant.
Yep.
So from what I've seen on social media, is actually Mike Friday made a comment, Mike Friday being a former Sevens coach. And Innocent Simi actually did reply and say that yes, they've been issued termination notices. I don't know, I know it's confirmed from elsewhere because I've also had that strength and conditioning coach, Geoffrey Kimani, also he's also been issued the termination notice for the contract. And the union are citing financial constraints. That's the reason why they're unable to continue with this contract. First question you ask yourself is, so how do you expect to pay the people?
That's exactly what I'm wondering.
If the issue is financial constraints, how do you expect to pay the people who are going to be coming in? I've dug deep, not deep really, but I've asked around, and the main reason why this is happening is because of what happened about 2-3 months ago. And just to take our viewers back so that they can understand the chronological happenings, the Kenya Sevens team went for the London and Paris legs, and in Paris they blacked out, they taped their t-shirts or their jerseys that had the Make It Kenya logo. Of course, this brought in problems because the sponsor made noise. I mean, they've put in money, and sponsor being Brand Kenya, of course, that's a state corporation. So this went high up. I hear it could be true, but it went high up at State House, and people were making noise. And when it came back, there was a disciplinary hearing, and it became apparent that Sevens coach Innocent Simi was involved in having that taping done. Some people say that he actually did finance it. And shortly thereafter, there was the deliberations that had, first, you remember he was fired. Then he was rehired. Then there was the deliberations that had him, the deliberations with the sports ministry had him retained. They went for the Sevens World Cup and it did not help because Kenya's performance was not good. Now, you hear from some people who are there that they do not believe that Kenya actually played bad. They believe that our boys threw away the game, and they believe that this was part of the protest that was in place going back to what I've just mentioned. So the KRU board, I believe, have made the decision that Innocent Simi cannot stay, primarily because of disciplinary issues. I don't think it's to do with that financial constraints. Go give somebody else that line. Don't give us that line. It's nothing to do with financial constraints. Now, what do I think about it? Yes, I do understand where the board is coming from, because Innocent Simi is a contracted individual. He has a contract with the Kenya Rugby Union, and there's a way he's supposed to act. So when the head coach of the Sevens team participates in the protest, then you can make a case for it, and they're not unionized, so it's not within their legal rights. So you can make a case for it. Then the board has every right to make a case for it. But what is irritating with this particular situation is that the board comes out making, or Kenya Rugby Union comes out making these allegations, and trying to make themselves look clean in this whole situation. And I think that's what's pissing everyone out.
I think that's the main problem actually, because you can point out what he did wrong, but what did you do wrong to cause that?
Exactly.
I mean, that didn't happen out of nothing. Innocent Samir didn't sit down and decide, you know what, no, we're just gonna black out the name and we're not going to do this, or we're not going to play well, or we're going to throw away games. No. It's you frustrated us, and this is backlash.
It's backlash. I mean, every reaction has that opposite and equal, reaction. So that's exactly what happened, and that's what's pissing people off. The Kenya Rugby Union and their minions, because there's a bunch of people who surround the guys who are inside there, and they always defend what the union does. They want to push this agenda that, look, Innocent Samir was wrong. Yes, he was wrong. No doubt, there's no doubt about that. But also, carry your own cross. He did not do that, just exactly as you said. He did not do what he did because he woke up and felt like he needed to do it. Money was missing, money was not coming in, they were not promised, they were not giving out their promise. And the most irritating excuse I hear from people in that union is, even as in our days we were not paid. Who cares?
We are not back in your day. Things are meant to be better. That's why you're there right now, to make it better.
To make it better. So when you go into the union with that mentality of, even us in our days we are not paid. First, was the game even professional? It was fully amateur in your days. Was it even money? Was corporate Kenya? Was the government coming in even to fund that? Who knew about you guys? But it's a different era. These guys have the exposure. They definitely are at par or close to the level where the top guys are, the New Zealand guys are, and the SA guys are. So money is coming in, and it's money that they've earned. So pay them their money. But then coming to say, oh, it's because of what Innocent Samir did. He was wrong. We are not saying he wasn't wrong. He was wrong in what he did. But also carry your own cross. And be responsible for the decisions that you made. Innocent Samir did not do what he did because he wanted to do it. He did it as a result of what you, the union, did. So and then decided to advertise that position and or advertise the whole tech bench. But my biggest issue is that in the last 5-6 years, or let me put it 7 years, we've had 5 coaches in sevens. Mike Friday, Felix Ochieng Toti, Mitchell Chola, Paul True, Benjamin Aimba, Innocent Samir. So when will there be continuity?
It's looking more like a trend now.
When will there be consistency? When will there be continuity? And that's the question that people are asking. Ideally, you see in the professional setup, somebody's given 4 years. You come in now, you're given 4 years until the next one. And I can guarantee you, unless things change, I can guarantee you, whoever takes over from Innocent Samir, 2 years, you're done.
You'll get the same frustration. Whether it's, we've seen it both in 7s and in 15s, where if it's an international coach, your rent won't be paid, your whatever you're being paid will come late. Like, you'll be frustrated so much. By the time the 2 years is over, if they haven't asked you to leave, you will want to leave.
Yes, you will want to leave. So my biggest issue is that it's very erratic, and to me it always looks like some people are trying to settle scores. So it's unfortunate, but that's where we are. And to Innocent Samir and his charges, you guys have done a brilliant job. We are not backing the decision that you made in Paris. It was wrong, but as much as it was wrong, and this is my opinion, I understand where you're coming from.
No, I totally agree with you. When it gets to the point where you're owed something and it's not coming and it's becoming a habit, then unfortunately you're pushed to the point where you're like, look, I need to make a stand and I need to make a big deal out of this, and people need to know, and that is what they did. And the attention they wanted, they got. So it did work to some extent. There were repercussions, but everyone got to know what was happening. Because a lot of the time with the union, things are swept under the rug. So if you don't say anything, no one will ever find out. And then when things go wrong, it will be spun and it'll be your fault. Oh, the boys didn't perform. Oh, the coach wasn't doing well. So I'd back them 100%.
And that's already happening. Oh, these boys, it's an honor. Yes, it is an honor to put on that jersey, but and it's from the administrator side, do what you're supposed to do. And like I'm saying, that's what is irritating people the most. Yes, we do appreciate the fact that Innocent Samir was wrong. If these boys threw away the World Cup, it was wrong. But what is annoying people is the fact that the people who are the decision makers are trying to make it look like it's entirely their fault. It is not entirely their fault.
Well, I'd like to see what people think about this. That's our 2 cents. But what's yours? Remember, you can find us on social media. That is by following us on Instagram, liking our page on Facebook, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. I'm Demi Duffield.
And I'm Ngara Kamuya.
See you in part 2.